Hyères is an attractive town in the south of France. Wikipedia says it's the oldest resort on the French Riviera and one of the warmest places in the country. It was very popular with the British in the 19th century, so popular that shop signs were in English as well as French. Its full name is Hyères-les-Palmiers because it has a perfect climate for palm trees. Apparently 7,000 were planted in the 19th century, and growing palms is still an important part of its economy. I'm not really here on holiday. I've come to make a film about the legacy of my great-uncle, Alexander Glasberg. He was a Russian Jew who emigrated to France and became a Catholic priest. During the war, he gave courageous help to people who had fled from fascist regimes. After 1945, Alexander Glasberg was very busy providing support for refugees who wanted to find their feet in France. He set up an organization to help them to find accommodation and work. This evolved, and he began to set up homes for the elderly and centers for the disabled in different parts of France. And it was in Hyères, where I am now, that he set up the first of his residential homes. The deputy director, Monsieur Blanc, is expecting me. I'm fascinated to see what sort of mark my great-uncle has left after all these years. This picture of him in the entrance hall is a good sign. Monsieur Blanc welcomed me warmly and gave me a medal with a portrait of my great-uncle on it. Merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil. The inscription roughly translates as, "Give people all the help they need, but never do for them what they can do for themselves." Alexander Glasberg's great passion was to support people who are often marginalized, the elderly, the disabled, refugees. Monsieur Blanc told me that the founder's ideas were central to the work of Beauséjour. The key themes are treating people with absolute respect, encouraging them to be as autonomous as possible, and helping them to integrate and avoid social isolation. As I went round, I was introduced to several members of staff and to some residents. This delightful gentleman was very proud of his English.
I do speak English, all right?
Very good. How do you do?
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
Pleased, very, very pleased to meet you too. This resident has severe memory loss, but with prompting she remembers that years ago she worked here with my great-uncle. She was delighted to hear that I was his great-nephew.
Et vous avez travaillé avec l'abbé Glassberg.
Ben oui.
Vous l'avez rencontré.
Oui.
Ah oui?
C'est son petit-neveu.
Ah ben voilà.
Ah ben voilà. Vous avez vu?
C'est bien. Non, ça fait plaisir.
The arrangements for feeding the residents are very much as my great-uncle would have wished. He was a gourmet and liked to say that choosing the chef was just as important as choosing the director. The food looked good. The staff take great care to adapt it to the dietary needs of each resident, and I was impressed by the sensitive way the staff helped those residents who are suffering from memory loss.
Des papillons. Oui, mais c'est la fourchette. Non, c'est la cuillère, Marie. C'est bien la fourchette, la cuillère.
After saying goodbye to Madame Coutureau, who had shown me round, I reflected on what I had seen. There is a wonderful atmosphere in Beauséjour, which seems really in tune with the ideas that my great-uncle promoted. The spirit lives on. His ideas were groundbreaking in the 1950s. Now they are mainstream, but it has been a pleasure to see them put in practice here with such dedication. It's been a great day.